So before I start, I was listening to all these people, and I really want to ask all the participants, please, I really want to know, what are you trying to achieve sitting in this spiritual fair so beautifully organized by Mevin? Type in the chat box. I really would like to connect this to and like to understand, what are you looking? Are there any confusions? Like, I heard a lot of people talking about destiny and how to program the subconscious, and any answers you're looking for? Are you looking for good relationship? What brings you here? Type some answers, so that I know. Learning to listen, yeah, okay. Learn from the practitioners, wow. But what is the purpose? Why learn from the practitioners? And what do you want to learn? Are you looking at good health? Are you looking at more manifestations to come about easily? Are you wanting ease in life? Unlearning, wow, that's nice. So we all are sitting here, self-realization for what? To upgrade self, right? What is it? We've been hearing all this, good health, relationships. Yeah, great. Deepen our spiritual journey. How? So we all are looking at some way in which our outer circumstances don't impact our inner health. They stop controlling us. Let me put it this way, right? The purpose is that we want something which stops our outer circumstances from controlling us, right? So we are learning one thing from all the coaches here, which I heard from since morning, is align your energy, right? Now, how do we do it? What is the recipe? Like, people have been talking about so many things. What are our scriptures saying about it? We want to feel happy, we want to be harmonious, and we want to be inspired. For this to happen, our body, mind, and emotions have to be in healthy state. We all understood that. Okay. We all do yoga asanas, we all do pranayams for the mind, we do meditations. But tell me one thing, be very, very honest. Tell me one thing. How many of you feel total bliss in meditation? How many of you feel total bliss in meditation? Most of the time, our minds are flooded with sounds, thoughts, and there are, at very few times, we have those transcendental experiences. Mind has to be prepared for meditation. Then only you feel inspiration, right? So your mind cannot go into trance without purifying it, right? So it's like, let's say, it's like you have a utensil, you have a glass, right? And there is dirty water in this, stale water in this. And now you're trying to clean the outer utensil. But what about the dirty water inside, right? Asanas, pranayams, all these things are working on the outer, they're working on the utensil. What about the dirty water inside? Once you clean your inner self, you are connected to your higher self. That's when your external factors stop controlling your life, and you are at the right place at the right time. That is what I call synchronicity. That is what I call magic happening in your life. Then there is no competition. Then you are on your unique mission. Am I making sense? I want to hear from a few of you. Am I making sense? Okay, I would also say you move from a dreamer state to a doer state. That's the state. It's like you have a higher sense of purpose, like you are guided. So this is what I call a modern yogi, right? So our scriptures have it all. We don't need to go anywhere. We've been looking at the West for all the answers. We've been looking at methods, but our scriptures have it all. And I have brought today those two very important tools that are there in our scriptures. And I want you to understand that if we follow only these two tools, which are the first two stairs of the Ashtanga Yoga, and we've gone to do asanas, we've gone to do the pranayams and the dhyana and the dharana and all that, but we've forgotten those two tools. And these tools are what I'm talking about today. And these are the Yams and the Niyams. And what are these Yams and Niyams? Are these restrictions? Are these codes of conduct? Yes, they are. Now you would say, why would I have some restrictions on me? Why would I like to put restrictions on myself? Okay, before I answer that question, can I request you all to just close your eyes for a moment? Just close your eyes. Wherever you are, just sit down, close your eyes just for a moment, close your eyes. And now start doing your deep breathing. And while you're deep breathing, when you inhale very slowly, and your exhale has to be longer than your inhale. So inhale, hold your breath for a second, and then exhale. Exhale has to be double than your inhale. Try doing it. Do it at your own pace. Inhale, hold it for some time. Just focus on your third eye, the place between your eyebrows, and just exhale. Open your eyes. How are you feeling right now? How are you feeling right now? Just type in the chat box. Some of you don't even feel like opening your eyes. You're feeling so relaxed, isn't it? Isn't it? Are you feeling relaxed? What did you do? You just controlled your breath. So restrictions are not always bad. We all have value systems, right? We all have value systems in the house. We have family values. We have universal principles which are working on you all the time. Society has rules. Even the corporates have mission and value systems in place. Isn't it? So restrictions are not always bad. So time is short. I don't want to get into all this. Let's dive into it, Yams and Niyams. And we will not go into the very depth of it, but I am going to explain in this short time whatever I can. So type in the chat box, ready, so that I know that you're all ready and I can start. Yes, great. Okay. So let's start with the yams first. So the 5 yams are ahimsa, satya, asteya, brahmacharya, and aparigraha. Okay. Now let me give you a small distinction of what do they mean. Ahimsa. Okay. Tell me one thing. When someone cuts you off on the road, what do? And if you see someone with a perfect body, how do you feel? Jealous, right? So every time when somebody is criticizing you or you are criticizing yourself, have you seen that is the time when you're being violent with your own self, or you're being violent with them, you're judging them. This is hinsa. This is hinsa, right? Ahimsa actually simply means compassionate. Being compassionate in your thinking, being compassionate in your speaking, being compassionate in your doing. This is simply what ahimsa means, right? And we as a country know, who knows better than us what ahimsa is? Gandhiji has been talking about it, right? In the spiritual sense, it only means being compassionate in your thinking, feeling, and speaking and doing, right? Second is asteya. Asteya means non-stealing. We have been hearing this from childhood. We must not take what is not ours, don't steal, and all that, right? We've been hearing all that. But come to think about it, how much are we all stealing from the Gaia, from the Mother Earth, right? Mother Earth had to shut down to keep us away from stealing, right? And how many times have you stolen somebody's ideas and not given them credit? Nowadays it's very common in the corporates, and people say, I did not sleep. I am sleeping less because my work demands it. Are you not stealing from your nervous system? Are you not stealing from yourself? When you are late, are you not stealing from somebody else's time? Okay. And third thing, which I want to tell you, is Brahmacharya. Now, if we go by Brahmacharya, we would say, oh, abstaining you from sex. No, it's not about that. It's not abstaining you, it's only asking for you to be in moderation. Brahmacharya, the word in spirituality, only means moderation. And when I say moderation, means practice moderation at work, practice moderation at sex, food, shopping, even spiritual practices, because ati har cheez ki buri hoti hai, right? So you have to have moderation. Overindulging, we as a generation are overindulging in everything. So Brahmacharya is not about cutting off, it's about restricting, it's not about abstaining, it's about moderation, right? Now let's come to the fourth one, which is called aparigraha. Aparigraha means non-possessiveness. Non-possessiveness means what? Detachment. Actually, can you see that these yams and niyams are nothing but a recipe for you, for all your answers? These are the pathway. This is, if you follow these yams and niyams, you are sorted, right? So detachment is aparigraha. Detachment means what? This means fulfilling our needs, not our wants. Fulfilling on your needs. We are too attached to things. How many times have you heard, do you hear yourself in the day? How many times you say, my work, my career, my money, my children? How much are we attached to these things? Are your children your? Or are they individuals? Are they unique individuals having unique life journey? Right? So one way to look at is, okay, let me give you a thing. Okay, one way to look at how much of non-possessiveness or detachment you have, just look at how good you are at letting go. Just look at how easily you let go of the stuff you don't need. How easily do you do that? You will know how detached you are. So, are you people getting value? Am I going on the right track? I need to get some answers to know that if I'm on the right track. Okay, I see Ritu raising a thumbs up. What about others? Okay, absolutely. Okay, great. Only one person answering. Where are the others? We are moving with velocity. How does one synthesis passion with moderation? Okay, we will talk about it. Right, undoubtedly. Okay, great. So, these are the yams. Okay? Now let me go on. I'm going on a high speed because I just want to finish this content and maybe take a few questions. Okay, so the next one is I'm going to talk about the niyams. These are the observances. When we say observances, these are the acts to be performed, right? So the first niyam is shocha. If shocha, actually we all understand this word, it means purification. It means purity of the mind, purity of the body, and purity of the emotions. What are you what are you putting inside your mouth? What are you putting inside your brain? What is the negative content you are watching day to day? What programs you are feeding to your mind? What are you reading? That also comes under that. It's about body cleanliness, of course, and it is about the cleanliness of the mind, emotions, and how? By the practices of yoga, meditation, and what do you put in your body and mind? Because this is your temple, right? So the second niyam is santosh. How many of you, we all know the meaning of santosh, right? It is the practice of acceptance. Acceptance of what? Acceptance of what is. This is what is right now, and the acceptance of what is santosh. Making the most out of everything. Gratitude, joyfulness, remaining calm with success and failure both. This is a state. This state of mind does not depend on your external status. No, it is like you are in gratitude for what you have or what you don't have, and learn from the joys and the disappointments of the life brings. So you're learning your lessons all the time and just being with the flow. You're going downstream, not upstream, right? Now, third is tapas. When I say tapas, tap means what? Discipline. Tap means what? Dedicated practice, right? When we say dedicated practice, if I have to put it in simple word, consistency. Consistency is the key to success. We all know that, right? सोना तप के खरा बनता है, आत्मा भी तप से शुद्ध होती है. That's the simple thing, right? Having a realistically balanced schedule for my work. This is where scheduling comes in, right? My spiritual practices, having a schedule for my spiritual practices, for my work, for my personal needs, for my family, everything. I am disciplined, but I am also relaxed. That is what is santosha is all about. Scheduling helps you. Gardener has to water the plants every day. Even musician has to do regular riyaz, right? So this is all about consistency, right? Now, let's come to the fourth one, which is Swadhyay. This is my favorite. Okay. This is the highest spiritual practice, I believe. This is the practice which is called self-observation with compassion. Self-observation with compassion. How much do we sit with self? How much are we sitting with the self? We are always waiting for someone to come from outside and teach us. We are looking for answers outside. Where are the answers? The answers are here. I need to sit with myself and do self-observation. End of the day, just do this practice, small practice. End of the day, just sit down with yourself और मनन करो कि आज जो अच्छा किया उसको मैं increase करूंगा और जो मैंने बुरा किया I will decrease that. I will stop doing it. I will stop doing it or maybe decrease it. If I was angry 5 times, I will be in awareness that today I am angry only twice. Right? And start. This will come how? This will only come with self-observation, and that too from standing in a space of compassion for self. Right? Swadhyay is more to do with meditation, more to do with self-introspection. And Swadhyay is another thing, which is reading good literature and listening to good teachers. That's what we are all doing here. Right? Now, let me come to the fifth and the last one. This is Ishwar Pranidhana. Ishwar Pranidhana means deep surrender. Ishwar Pranidhana means letting go. Ishwar Pranidhana means let go and let God. So, when you are in true surrender with that spark, right, that we have all been listening to, we've all been talking about. When you are in true surrender to that spark, that's when all the vrittis of the chitta are removed and mind is calm and relaxed. And what do you all do? You think you are so small. Are we so small? No, we are the whole Purusha. We are the universe. It's about aligning my will to the will of God. Right? Surrender the ego. I was listening to a person before this. She was talking about ego. So it's about aligning with God. Surrender the ego, the false pride to God. Release the need to be the doer, my friends. Release the need to be the doer. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya. May my will align with the spirit. And then when you are in surrender, what shows up, you don't even have imagined in your life. And this is what yamas and niyamas will help you. Take a deep breath, my friends. We finished all the yams and niyams. And was it difficult? Was it something out of this world? Our scriptures have given us this beautiful tool for us to work on ourselves. We don't need anything else. Start working on yourself. Be your own guru. That's where you need to be. Ritu, over to you.
Awesome. Peyush, that was really, really informative, and it's all there, just that we haven't opened our eyes and looked at it the way you actually put a perspective today. So may I also ask you to answer a few questions?
Yes.
You say discipline yourself. If you could also elaborate on that, how do you do that as a practice on an everyday, that you come out of these stressful zones that we are into, that we have to do so much, we have to catch up so much of information, process it and serve it. So it's like, it's a race, it's a rat race. So there is a question, as other trainers and coaches are also here, and there are a lot of participants. Everybody in life is dealing with this. So if you could throw some light on that, please.
So as I said in the very beginning, if you start following these yams and niyams, why are we following them? For self-evolution. Why are we following them? So that the outer circumstances don't impact our inner self, our inner harmony. So if you start practicing these yams and niyams, they in themselves are everything, right? So how do I practice it? I pick up one niyam and one yam. So this is a way of life. It's not like you have to do it now and then leave it. No, it's a way of life. Yoga is a way of life. Ashtanga yoga is a way of life, right? So pick up one niyam and one yam every month and just start following that. So let me say, I am following, for the last month, I was following ahimsa, right? So every time something would show up, which demanded my time, or I felt something was going wrong. I did not want it this way. I wanted things to happen that way. I was only chanting ahimsa as a affirmation. So it was like ahimsa, ahimsa, ahimsa. And I was being compassionate to myself and to the other person. That's it. That's how, if you start practicing only this much, you are sorted, my dear. Just look at, if you are doing swadhyay, what are you doing? You are just observing yourself. Manan kar rahe ho. Okay, yesterday I did this. Now what do I do? And where are the answers? You only need to shut your eyes, go within and dive inside. That's it. Start following these yams and niyams. I promise you, your life will change. This is the recipe. Ritu, you're asking me for recipe. This is the recipe. Beautiful. And whatever you are saying about subconscious reprogram, everything, it's all here. It's all in these yams and niyams.
Okay. So, Peyush, anything that you would say the practice has to be picked up from here, or this is the one that you need to start with?
Yes.
Which one?
Which one? I would say the highest spiritual practice is Swadhyay. Swadhyay. Start with this niyam. Start spending some time with yourself every morning. Sit down with yourself after you've done your thing, and then just go dive deep into self-observation.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Also, there was a question more about yams and niyams. So how is that possible?
A separate workshop on this, because it's a very, very, very deep subject which I have tried to put in just 15 minutes.
So that's beautiful that you actually capsuled it. So when is it that we can have an elaborate session? That's the question, I believe. So I'm putting it that way.
Whenever you want, I'm here. I can do whenever you want.
Okay, beautiful. So Bhavesh, who was that? We'll do it. So keep our catches on the Maven. We'll do that. And one more question. So when you're doing the self-observation and when you're really understanding that you were criticizing yourself, you were judging yourself constantly, you were judging the other person. So the self-bashing continues somewhere even after you observe and finish off. It's like a task that you've completed. But when it comes to reality check, again, it happens. So what do you do when that happens again and again? Usually, you go into guilt mode that you're not good enough, you're not practicing enough. So what can we really do as coaches and trainers and participants, seekers? Yeah.
Ritu, I'll pick up from the yams and niyams only. So first thing is, you haven't when you're bashing yourself, you haven't forgiven yourself for whatever has happened, right? From your childhood, this was your conditioning. You need to forgive yourself because you were victims of victims, right? So first thing is, you need to forgive yourself and then practice another yam, and that is ahimsa. Being compassionate towards your own self. Right? And that's the key.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. It was wonderful having you as always, Peyush.
Thank you.
Peyush Bhatia is like adding lots of value, and we wish you all the very best. I'm really feeling very proud to see you. And each time I see you on YouTube and Facebook, it's like, wow. So great.
Love you, Ritu. Thank you for inviting me, Mavin. I want to thank Khushbu and Shabana for always bringing me here on this platform. I love to serve. Thank you.